Real good question. Big shout out to my man G Man. Why are we in so much competition? Whether you playing the bass, the keyboard, you're blowing the saxophone, who's the best singer, who's the best bass player, who's the best drummer. Ah man, good question, man. I'm so sick of hearing about that kind of stuff, but I have no problem with doing a video about it. It's so much competition. Why? I have the slightest idea why we having so much battling and competitions to do one thing that everybody almost fell off track about doing, and that's glorifying God's name and helping lost souls come through Christ through your ministry. But now, you always, like you say, who the best drummer? Big shout out to my man Calvin Rogers. Big shout out to everybody that's doing what they doing on the instrument, but it shouldn't be no competition, about this. Big shout out to my man Fink. Me and my man Fink was just talking about this. Dennis Ford, if y'all know him as Dennis Ford. I grew up with him, dynamic drummer, but it's always questions about who is this? Who's the best drummer? Can Spud outplay this dude? Can this dude outplay Spud? It shouldn't even be conversations like that. You know why? Because God has gave all us a great gift to use. Where you are weak at, somebody is strong in that area. And where you are strong at, somebody is weak in that area. It shouldn't be no competition about who's the greatest drummer, the best keyboard player. Everybody got their favorites, don't get me wrong. And these are just my opinions, but when you come to talking about a competition, let's say like Fred Hammond and John P. Key. Who's the best out of Fred Hammond and John P. Key? To me, it ain't even a conversation because they are all dynamic. Who's the best saxophone player? I love all of them. I love all music. I love all musicians. It's the humbleness that I look at. But why are we in so much competition? I can never figure that out. And I'm not going to ever get intimidated. I don't care who sits in front of me because when I come up behind whoever, I could be coming up behind my man Marvin Sapp. And when Marvin Sapp leave that stage, that spirit going to be all over that stage. And I want to walk right in that spirit that Marvin Sapp left in there because Marvin is not up there for no show off. It's not a competition. So being intimidated, you shouldn't even be intimidated because first of all, God did not give us the spirit of fear. What he gave us was power. So when you got the power and anointing inside of you, you use that to your ability. It's not about competition. I'm so sick of hearing about competitions. I'm so sick of going to musicals and everybody is in the back talking about who's the best drummer, who's finna come in here and tie the church up. And you notice a lot of times you don't even see the church get tore up. You see a show-off contest going on. You see people standing in the corner in the music department. Ain't nobody praising. You just seeing everybody getting off on the instruments. Ain't nothing wrong with getting off on your instrument. Ain't nothing with knowing your crowd. But what happened to the spirit? That's what we keep forgetting about. It done got so bad, and that's a good point, G. It done got so bad that everybody is jamming now and ain't even thinking about the anointing. It's so much about who got the best rip. How many times he gonna double up and got the cleanest run on these drums. That's why I say it shouldn't be no question about who is the best. That's like me and Jamal. I can use Jamal for example. I can sit down and look at Jamal, learn everything from Jamal. But when I get through looking at Jamal, I'm still going to play it my way. I can take what Jamal showed me. Now, if I had to go play somewhere and come up behind Jamal, do you think that I would honestly be intimidated? Not the slightest. And love you, Jamal. I'm not talking about you at all. Just an example. I can come right up behind Jamal. I can come up behind Aaron Lindsley. I can come up behind all of the greatest keyboard players and will not have no shame because my heart and my spirit is right. I'm not coming up here saying I'm finna outplay Aaron Lindsley or I'm finna outplay PJ Morgan. I'm finna show these people what time it is. See, I see this in church a lot. Everywhere I go, I'm finna go in here and wreck the church. I'm finna show these cats what time it is in this corner. Man, what is that? That's boasting and bragging and showing out. And you better be careful with that. So while we're in so much competition, maybe one of y'all could tell me because I have the slightest idea and I have never known why we are in competition with each other. It's like Dallas and Houston. I love Dallas. I love Houston. I love Orlando. I love all towns. I love all states. I don't know why it's such a comparison. When you go to Houston, they might say, well, Houston and Dallas don't get along. You hear this all the time. Why Houston and Dallas don't get along? I don't know why. It is some cold dynamic musicians in Houston. It is some cold dynamic musicians in Dallas. It is cold musicians all over this world. I can go on my next street and get you 4 or 5 people that don't play nowhere, and you will be amazed at how cold they are. But they done got burned out and don't even want to play because they're tired of dealing with the mess about the band and who's the best. You got the best, some of the best people that you say that's good that ain't even playing nowhere. You can go hear them in their own room and will be amazed and be saying, why you don't play nowhere, man? But see, that's the thing. We putting labels on this. That's why I always say big shout out to Calvin Rogers. Calvin Rogers is one of the most humble musicians, you know, on the drums nowadays. And I look at a lot of his stuff. People hate on Calvin. They started up rumors about Calvin. Somebody gonna do the same thing about me, but I care less. You know what I'm saying? I like Calvin because Calvin stay humble. But every conversation I hear, and I don't even be trying to listen, I go to a lot of musicals, and all I hear is, ooh, such and such can't hold Calvin Rogers, or can Calvin Rogers beat what's her name? You got to quit getting in competition and putting labels on things. Everybody gonna have their favorite musician, but you got to quit doing these labels on who is the best, because ain't nobody greater than God. But see, we don't want to look at it like that. Or can JT beat Jamal playing? I done heard comments like, you know, you the best teacher, you know, you got the best. That's good. That makes me feel good. But I'm not doing nothing Jamal is not doing. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at it like that. I'm just humble. I can learn from everybody. So why we in competition, I don't know. Somebody help me out with this. You know, that's a good question, G. Why are we in competition? Are you that, you know, low on your instrument where you feel like you not good? That's why I tell the beginners, it's so many beginners on this website that are cold and don't even think they are. You look at their page and you would say, brother, you are not a beginner. Sister, you are not a beginner. You are good, but they don't believe in themselves because somebody done talked down on them and they done got intimidated because they think they are not doing nothing that the next man or the next woman is not doing, and really they are. You know, so we got to quit looking at this competition thing, because when it comes to God, there is no competition. He is the all, you know, and when it comes to glorifying the Most High, everybody better watch out with this competition. You know, who else walked on this earth sin free other than Christ? What greater love is there other than a man laid down his life for a friend? Not just for a friend, but all of us so-called folks that ain't even call ourselves Christians and unworthy, but he laid down his life. So you can't compare nothing against Christ. So since we should be Christ-like, why are we comparing each other about who's the best? I'm going to leave that alone.